Hello and welcome back to Gearhead Geeks, where today we are going to be, or in this video, we are going to be working on our seat base. We're going to get it attached to the motorcycle. I have a way that I've kind of conjured up that should be kind of neat. We'll see how that goes. The first thing that we need to know here is, well, the way I'm going to deal with it is I'm going to make it so the seat slides over the frame and then latches with the actual Kawasaki seat latch. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to hook this piece of fiberglass around the frame. It's going to be attached to the seat and it'll go around the frame, and we'll glue this in, and that will get the seat perfectly in place, and then we can attach the latch, and there's a bunch of other stuff we have to do. This is nothing more than we're remodeling our bathroom, and the shower tub is this thick, well-aged fiberglass, and it was actually in good shape, but we're getting rid of it. So anyway, I just went on the old adage that you never throw anything away if you can help it. Sometimes you just have to, but if you can make something out of some of this stuff, boy, this is just great stuff to fabricate pieces out of. It's hard. I mean, you can't hardly break it. It's just really, really good fiberglass. It's all gel coated, so it's perfect for doing what we have to do. So let's get down to it, and we will see how this goes. So the first thing we need to do is we need to get this seat exactly where we want it. So I have marked where the center is. There's a little line in the center and how far back I need it. And there's a couple of rubber bushings over here that allow this thing to sit exactly where we need it. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to clamp it into place, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take our piece of fiberglass. We'll take our piece of fiberglass and we will then put it in place, clamp it, and then what we'll do is we'll make some short strand fiberglass and we are going to glue it in place and then let that cure. And then we'll pull the seat back off and glue it all the rest of it in place. So so first things is let me get the seat in place. And I have made marks. So this gets me to the exact center, and as far as how far it goes back, it's all marked on the frame. Then I'll just take this clamp and clamp it very securely in there. The seat base fits very accurately, and it so when you get it in place, it doesn't wobble around, it doesn't do anything. Okay, so that's the back of it clamped in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy and put him in place. Now I've kind of fashioned it around some of the brackets that are on the frame and rounded off the corners, but this fits up against the bottom of the seat, and then it goes all the way back and touches the frame, so the seat cannot go any further back. And it fits in there fairly accurately. So the next thing I need to do is I just have these little clamps, and I can just take the clamp and clamp it into place. So everything is held, and we're gonna triple check things, but everything seems to be held in place where it needs to be. The seat does not move around at all. It lines up from the back very nicely, and this piece is clamped into place, and there's a place right in underneath here inside the seat that I can apply some of that short strand fiberglass, and that will hold it in place. I'll let it cure, and then I can pop the seat off and finish gluing it in. So I'm going to go mix up some fiberglass, and we'll get back to putting it in after I'm done mixing it. Okay, so we've got our short strand fiberglass. It's just, I got this from a regular paint supply, and I don't need too much. That's probably more than I need, but I don't mind throwing a little bit of it away. Not trying to be wasteful, but then just take a little bit of hardener, and I'm not going to get too crazy with the hardener here either. And we'll just give it a little shot. It's not cold in here, but it's not real warm, but that's okay. The idea here is to get this stuff mixed up fairly well. That's all we care about. And if it will go off, we just don't want it to go off too soon. And like everybody recommends, you just flatten it, mush it in, scrape it up, and turn it over, and just keep on mixing it in. The light blue of the hardener, you can't really tell if it's mixed in very well, so you just have to really do your best to do a good job. Now what I'm going to do here is I've changed my mind a little bit. I was going to glass this in with the seat in place, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on ahead and put some of this on the actual side latch here, and we'll go on ahead and glue it in that way. So I get I'm more worried about getting some underneath it. If I did it the other way, I wouldn't get anything underneath it where it touches the seat base. I can go around the sides, but I'm going to do that. I can do that later. Okay, so we're mixed up fairly well. At least it looks like it is. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to take our piece here, and I'm going to go on ahead and put a pretty good layer of this on there. I want it mostly on the outside. I need to be a little more careful because I don't want it on the inside, because that's where the frame is. And once I get this, I'll move the camera around so we can see what we're doing. Well, you can't see too much of what I'm doing because it's just not, doesn't lay in there. So this has got a fairly thick coat of fiberglass on it. And what I think I ought to do here before I get too crazy is, well, no, I just need to put it in there. So let me turn the camera around and get back to the seat part. There we are. And I'm just going to take this, and I'm going to be careful and just get it as far where it needs to be, and put it up in here and hold it in place, and we will go on ahead and take our clamp and clamp it in. And that is pretty good. It's about where we want it. The seat's in place, and I think now that I've got some underneath it, I can probably go on ahead and get some on the other side. So I'm going to roll around over here and see if I can get some in there. This might be the wrong tool to do it with, but we're going to try. I'm just going to use a screwdriver and see if I can get some of that in there. And it looks like maybe I can. I'm gluing it to the frame. That's what I'm trying to avoid. Well, it's doing pretty good. A little hard to see in there, but we'll get it. And at least what this does is gets me stabilizes everything. And I'll put another clamp on it after I get all this in here. And one more shot. Not terrible. Good. All right. And let me get another clamp on this without making a mess. And right about there ought to do it. Okay, so it's clamped into place and it's not going anywhere. I'm not going to touch it. And we will let that set up. And when we come back, we'll go on ahead, pull the seat off, and finish fiberglassing it in. Okay, so while that's setting up, here is the bracket we're going to use. This is off a KZ400, and it was a aftermarket seat I put on a restoration I did, and I wanted to use the OEM actual bracket, but I saved this one, and it took me a while to figure out where I put it, but once I did, this is going to be perfect. It will go into the stock Kawasaki latch, and what we'll do is we're going to put some what are they called, stud certs or whatever they're called, and it will go on in, and we'll be able to bolt this into the seat. And we have some adjustment now with it. If you look, there's a couple of nuts on both sides, and we can adjust it up and down. We can adjust it this way, and we can adjust it this way. So we should be able to get that just perfect in there. And then the fiberglass seems to have cured at least good enough for now. So we'll pull the clamps off of it, and we'll see what it takes to make this thing work. Okay, so we've kind of glued this thing in, but we'll get it loose before it gets too crazy. There it is. All right, we got it. So now the seat will come off, and as you can see, I got a little extra. This is why it was sticking to the frame a little bit. So it's all. Let me see if you can see that. But anyway, here's our bracket. I got a little extra on here. I'm going to grind all that off. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fill this inside here with the short strand fiberglass, and that will hold this guy in place. And it'll be tough. It'll be in there. So I'm going to mix up some more and start putting the stuff in. It does look like it's settled in there fairly well, though. We'll see. It's mixed in about as good as I can get it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start laying this stuff in. And the way to do that is just to, first of all, get it inside here where I really want it. I need to I don't the screwdriver and scoop it in there better. Nice. Ooh, not bad. Okay. All right, so we'll let that set up, and I'll cut out all the extra. And we'll get this cleaned up. Okay, so we have our bracket in place now, and it hooks around the frame. Needs a little cleaning up, but I'm going to let it harden a little more so it doesn't clog up the sandpaper. It's still even a little bit warm in here. It's going really, really well. This bracket is super solid. Now it doesn't take much to get the seat. You just stick it on there, line it, and it's in. That's it. It just lines up perfectly when you do that. This is going to work well. Okay, now that the seat has got its bracket on it, and we got to do some cleaning up, I am going to go on ahead and mark where our latch goes. I've already put the latch into where it lives on the bike and put the seat down on it, moved it back and forth a little bit, and now I just got to mark where it is. I've been marking it and experimenting a little bit, but now I'm going to take a final mark, which is using a green marker, because I've already used blue and black, and mark where it needs to go. And these are these long, what they call long nib markers. They're very, very thin point, and they work really, really well for marking this stuff. So now, I'll pull our seat back off. Just pops right off of there. Oh yeah, we did good. So now, I've got a couple marks, and that's how this guy is going to fit. And what we'll do with that is once we get that right, I'm going to double check my marks on it. But it looks, I see that I'm at a strange angle, that's why. But I'll drill holes in here, and then when I drill through here and here to get the nutserts in here, then I've got to take the seat pan and drill so the nutserts will clear, and that'll help locate the seat pan. So when I drill this, I'll have the seat pan in place, or the seat pan in place, drill through both of them, and that'll get it just right. And then all this can be cleaned up, and I'll take those little sanding belts thingies and clean all that up, get this inserted, get some nutserts in there, and we should be able to have this seat where it latches on nicely. So, okay, I've done a little bit of grinding in here to get some of the excess stuff out. It needs some sanding, it needs some more prep, but it fits on the motorcycle really well. I've marked carefully where our bracket is going to go. So our bracket fits something like this. And I'm going to go on ahead and get ready to drill the holes. So to do that, before I can actually do any drilling, I'm going to take our seat pan, which we made previously, and it just kind of form fits onto here. It actually only has one real good position, and it just fits nicely in that position. And I can hold it while I drill. So I'm going to start with a 1/4 inch drill. The nutsert's a little bit larger than that, but I just want to get the hole started and through both of them, and then I can worry about the seat pan later. And I'm going to try not to drill through my finger, which is a distinct possibility. I'm going slowly because I don't want to just push off my seat pan, but it's coming on through. All right, so I pushed on the seat pan. I'm just going to make sure that it's still in its perfect place, its natural habitat, so to say. And now I can go on ahead and drill through the seat pan. Okay, so we have a hole through that and our seat pan, and I can probably put some sort of little bolt in there to hold it in place. And I just happen to have something, a little 6mm bolt, and that'll hold the seat pan in its place. It's a little easier, and I'll go ahead and drill the other hole. Seat pan's a bit, The seat pan's a bit thicker than it looks. Okay, so in our seat pan, we've got 2 holes that match the holes here, and these are going to be clearance because there's going to be nutserts in the actual seat base to hold on our latch, but we just need to make sure that that has corresponding holes. So the next thing we need to do is figure out what size our nutserts are. And these are 6mm nutserts. I'm not absolutely sure of the quality, but we will find out. Now, to drill them, we're going to use a set of vernier calipers. Find out our drill size. So it's 8.92 millimeters. So I need to find a drill bit that's just about that size. So it seems that the letter S drill bit is about the right size. Maybe a little tiny bit small, but that's okay. We can hog out the hole just a little bit. Now I have not used this nutsert tool, so we'll be seeing it together. Okay, so drill out our hole. And both of them. Okay, nothing to it. Now we're going to have our nutserts in there, and they're tight. I think I need to loosen up just a shade. Let's see how that goes. Just gently take out a little bit more material. Okay, that fits in pretty nicely. So we'll see. So we'll get our tool. See where you guys can see. Yep, here we go. So I've set up our nutsert tool for 6mm, and we will see how this goes. Like I said, I've never used this one before, so the way I understand it is you just run this guy in. And you get yourself in a position. I think you can adjust it so you can get your hands in a good position, and you just give it a squeeze. Okay, and let's see how that does. Well, I don't know if you can see, but it seemed to do a pretty darn good job. It looks like it curled up around what we needed to curl around. It's tight. I mean, really tight. So let's try it again. Let's put the other one in. What the heck? That was easy. Tool worked pretty good. How are we doing here? Yeah, so here is, I don't know if you can see it, but let me see if I get a point here. You can see where it squished this guy down on here, and then here's the flukes in this one. So this thing is really, and you can see the difference in length. See if I can get the camera so it's right there, but look at the difference in length. It really pulled it in. That's nice. That thing worked nifty. So let's do another one. Okay, and my tool fell into a black hole. There it is. Okay, here we go. Let me back this up a little bit. Let's see, here we got here. Okay, here we go. not a ton of effort. Boy, this thing worked really good. Okay, put this down. And our nut certs are in. It has rolled it over nicely. So what we need to do is just go on ahead, and we did a fairly good job of getting that. So let's find a couple bolts or screws or something. So now we have nut certs in here. We have some adjustment this way, up and down. The only thing is I didn't bring my key for the latch, but I can unlatch it, hopefully, and we'll give it its first try. All right, it's unlatched, and let's see how we did. So here's our seat. Let's get it aimed at the motorcycle. Okay, so here's what it's going to take to put this seat on and off. You take it here, get it lined up a little bit. Okay, here it is. Take that, and then we just take it and see if we can pop it on. Oh, there it is. It popped on. A little adjusting now. It's a little loose, but nothing bad. The only problem is I don't have a key now, so I can't. Gotta try and reopen it, but it is. It's in there. And now all that I have to do is make it so that the seat does not move around any at all. But we have a latched on seat that will not come up this way. And there's some spacers that need to go in here anyway. There's some rubber baby buggy bumpers, so it may not need anything. We'll get those all worked out, but that just worked perfect. That could not be better. Wow. So, after all the extra sanding and putting in our little hook device that goes around the frame, you can see this goes around one side of the frame. Now we've got the actual Kawasaki mount, or the latch mounted. And I put in a little piece of, I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if I can get it. But this is a piece of slider that is, I don't know what I got it off of, but it allows the seat to slide around the frame without any damage whatsoever. It's super smooth, and it's kind of nylon-ish, but it's very, very slick. It might be even just Teflon. But anyway, so putting all that together, and now when we go to hook it on, let me aim the camera at the bike here. Let's see if we can get it so we can see fairly well. It's not a big ordeal. Make sure your key is here, and all that we do is we just hook it around. That's all it is, and then you just take it and pop it down. It is tight. The whole thing is just, it moves the whole motorcycle. There is no play in it whatsoever. There's no up and down play. There's nothing. And to get it off, take your key, and you just take it and hit it. You're done. Pops off, and it's just like the factory, except now you just take off the whole seat, do whatever you want with it, set it down, and then you have good working room. No hinges, no nothing. Just take it, put it in, get it in place. It just sits there, and you snap it down, and you are done. It is solid. It is not going anywhere. Really, really worked out well. None of this fooling around with other types of bolts and trying to hook it in the front, and I've tried a few other things. So if you're modifying like a KZ400 or a bike that has a seat latch that, just snaps down, and some old Suzukis have it, Kawasaki's have it. There's a whole bunch of them out there that have it. And figure out a way to hook it and put it down. There's no movement in this whatsoever. It is solid as a rock. Perfect. So that's worked out extremely well. Well, thanks for watching. We have gotten through our seat base. We now can start on other stuff. But now that the seat base is done, we can start working on all the other mounts and things that go inside that are going to go under the seat. So we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you then.